I'm Diane Nurse. I'm a South African living in Ireland. I've been here since 2001. I work in the Health Service Executive in the National Social Inclusion Office. I came from South Africa originally with my husband, thinking we'd be in Ireland just for a couple of years, but we've ended up living here for much longer than that. But I'm still very, very closely linked to South Africa. My family's there, my mother's there, my grandchildren are there, and one day I certainly plan to return there. It's kind of strange when something momentous like Nelson Mandela's passing happens. One realizes just how close one is to South Africa and just how important those roots are. I don't think it was a shock to hear of his death, but it certainly makes one think of the impact that he has had on us. I think he was the most wonderful, wonderful man, and he's left us with the most fantastic legacy. I hope we can still keep up that legacy of grace, of dignity, of absolute generosity of spirit. He's an example, and I don't know if we'll ever see somebody as wonderful as him again. So that's really all I can say. I wish I was back in South Africa at this point to share in the celebrations of what was a fantastic life. Thanks very much.
Hello, my name is Andrea Nugent. I'm an obstetrician gynecologist in Ireland, and I want to join the rest of the world in grieving the loss of a great leader and a visionary. And I'd like to share a quote that I have treasured from him. I have walked that long road to freedom. I have tried not to falter. I have made missteps along the way. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. Well done. What a great life you have led, Nelson Mandela, and we will miss you in Ireland.
Hi, my name is Amel. I am from Algeria, and I've been living in Ireland for the past about 14 years now. I was deeply saddened, like I suppose the rest of the world, to hear the passing of a mighty legend of a man, Nelson Mandela. I was fortunate enough early this year to be in South Africa and Cape Town, and I visited Robben Island, and I think it was one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had, because I got a chance to go in his cell, but as well the cell of all the other prisoners in Robben Island, and as well the impact Madiba had on the nation, but as well the whole continent and the whole world. He never was afraid of speaking his mind. I think he is possibly one of the last, he is in my mind the last man of that caliber to pass away. He's among there with Martin Luther King and Gandhi, and I think we really need to strive and create someone as or have people of that caliber for the next generations. Huge loss, but he needed to go, and I think he was ready to go, and a man of so much peace. And I still remember where I was when he was released from prison in Algeria, and for years we were sending these little letters to get him to be free, and we just thought, I was pretty young, and I actually just thought that it was my letters that helped releasing Nelson Mandela, so it was one of those little things. So yeah, really sad, major loss for the world.
I'm half Irish, and I'm a midwifery student here in Trinity College. I heard yesterday evening about the passing of Nelson Mandela, and to say that I was emotionally and totally overtaken by that news. Even though personally I did not know him, I feel that his work, his accomplishment, his passion and compassion for the human race connects us all together. And the fact that he kept everything simple, it was for the human cause. He had integrity, he had respect. And in our world today, that is what's lacking, be it in the maternity services, be it in corruption in countries such as Syria and Africa, or even in our own European countries where we preach democracy. We lack respect, we lack integrity, we lack human compassion. And yes, he had great achievements, and yes, he has won various awards, But what we can take as human beings from this great man is to respect each other, to accept each other for who we are, to treat each other with respect and integrity. And that way we can be better people to ourselves and to everybody else.
My name is Salome Mbugwa. I work with Akidwa, which is the Migrant Women's Network in Ireland. It's really quite shocking, to hear the news of former president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela, and somebody that I admired very much. Mandela have actually brought hopes into our work, especially in Akidwa, because we work on issues of inequality and discrimination. And what he left for us, the legacy, is that we can fight about these issues without fear and with hope for a different world. So I'm very hopeful that things could change in the world for the benefit of people like President Nelson Mandela and the fight that he had to fight until his death. So it's a mourning time for us, but at the same time, it's really to thank him and acknowledge the work and what he left behind. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jessica O'Dowd and I'm from Dublin in Ireland. And today, on the day of Nelson Mandela's death, I think we were all talking about it this morning, that although he was older, it was still a shock to everyone. And I think within my lifetime, he's been someone that you'd always looked up to as someone who's just protecting our human rights. And I think for me, he was the only key figure that was still alive, that was talking about that, was such an iconic figure that you could put up at a level with Martin Luther King and others. So it's a very sad day that he's passed away, and I think all we need to do is just keep remembering what he wanted and what he meant, and just keep fighting the human rights fight. Thank you.
Okay. My name is Philip Ozama. I pray that the soul of Nelson Mandela repose in the bosom of the Lord. He is an exemplary leader. I wish all African leaders would take a cue from him. That's all I have to say. He's a wonderful man.
Well, I just know that he fought for independence in South Africa, everything, and he's a very great man. And I can't.
My name is Douglas Zegi. I'm from Nigeria. And when I heard of Mandela's death last night, it came to me as a root shock. But anyway, he had a good life. And Mandela remains an icon to the whole of Africa. Mandela remains a legend. And he is an icon indeed of freedom and liberation to not only to the Africans, but to the entire world. And I hope young men like me and others would really take a cue from Mandela to stand for justice, stand for the truth, and fight for it. My commiserations to the family of Mandela. The whole world is behind you, supporting you. And we thank you for giving us such a great man, an icon indeed, in the whole of Africa. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, we sadly miss Mr. Mandela today. He passed on. He was a great leader and inspiration to all. Not only has South Africa lost a great leader, but the world has. So we just hope that as Africans, we will live up to his ideal. The man that stood for freedom and justice and equality for all. So we hope that we will live up to his expectation. He will be missed.
Hi, my name is Mary Sylvester. I'm a Nigerian. So I feel very saddened over the death of our hero, an icon, a legend. I wish other leaders will emulate his exemplary leadership of Comrade Nelson Mandela. Thank you very much.
It's Innocent Oyedikachi. Well, it's a very sad story that our great man, which Dr. Nelson Mandela, has passed away. So, but we as Africans, we have to take courage and know that we have lost a great son. I believe we can't have somebody, I'm not sure that Africa will ever provide somebody like Nelson Mandela again. May he still rest in peace.
Well, I'm Kelechi David Oswago. I'm from Nigeria, and I'm the proprietor of Havila African Kitchen, 130 Panel Street, Dublin 1. Honestly, it's a very big shock to every African, Considering the life Mandela led, he was one of the protagonists of African leadership, and he fought for the South African liberation from the apartheid rule. We all mourn him, and all this while he has struggled with ill health. Our prayer is that God should accept him in his bosom and give the whole Africans, particularly South Africans, the fortitude to bear that loss. It's a very great loss for Africans, and we pray that his legacy lives on in Africa. Thank you.
My name is Adebisi, African, Nigerian to be precise. It was actually a sad thing for us to know that the lion of Africa is dead, Iroko tree of Africa is dead, the person of Nelson Mandela, the Madiba. But then again, it's a thing of celebration because he lived a life worthy of emulation, a life well spent, you know. And Mandela is not actually only an African leader. It's a world leader. Mandela is a person that's worth fighting for. Mandela is a fighter, the person that spent the prime of his time for the liberation of his people. The person that fought for somebody like us to be able to stand today. He fought apartheid. He's a man that, in spite of everything, he believed in his word. He's a leader to the core. He's a leader to the core.
So what's one of the best quotes that you've ever heard from Mandela himself that you could quote and keep using in your life?
Mandela has got a lot of quotes, but one of my favorite quotes by Mandela is, "It is not your ability to survive that matters, but the ability to live for your generation." That is one of his best quotes. It is not your ability to survive that matters, but your ability to live for your generation, which I believe he has done, and he did that wonderfully well. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Ola. I'm from Nigeria. I heard about Nelson Mandela's death, and I'd like to say he was a really great man, and he did a lot for black people, which we thank him for that. So, yeah, that's all. Thank you.
My name is Claude. I'm from Congo. Actually, I didn't really realize the impact of the death of Nelson Mandela until like this morning when I saw the newspaper. Then I really realized that even though I can say the whole world has lost like someone really, really important. That guy is like a legend, really a legend.
Yeah, we just like disappointed about the news. Like, it's a very dramatic news. Like, it's a very sad news because Nelson Mandela was a great man, and you know, we're crying right now for him. Like.
I would say Nelson Mandela, his passing is one of the greatest losses in my lifetime. He was definitely a hero to me, and I think for a lot of people on this side of the world was a way into beginning to comprehend the problems faced by South African people and people of different colours and races throughout the world and what they were trying to deal with. So, yeah, I would say he's a hero to me.
Okay, my name's John Hedges and that. I'm from London originally, but I'm living in Ireland now for the last 30 years. The news of Nelson Mandela's death was a great shock to us and that, although people were expecting it. He has huge respect here in Ireland and also in Britain, and that for his struggle against apartheid, for his experience in prison, for his struggle with the ANC, and the way he's conducted himself since coming out of prison and becoming president, and that he's inspirational. The path he's taken from armed struggle to reconciliation is a true inspiration for everyone.
Hello, my name is Pádraig McFionlay. I'm living here in Ireland. I was deeply moved and saddened this morning when I woke up to hear the news that Nelson Mandela had passed away. I found him to be an inspirational figure in my life, a motivating force in my life. I was checking it out on the internet, was very moved by the images of him, his long walk to freedom. The specials with their special AKA brought back very vivid memories. And for me in Ireland, I suppose, Nelson Mandela, the strikers in Dunstores who campaigned tirelessly against the importation of South African fruit during the apartheid struggle. I found it all very moving, very emotional, and he will be deeply missed and is a great loss to not only to his nation but to the world in general.